baby, baby, oh, baby, baby, baby. DeFi Kingdoms, best project in crypto, best dream team of all dream teams in crypto. DeFi Kingdoms, grinding through the bear market. So many awesome things going. Lots of things to catch you guys up on. Okay. So we're going to talk about what's going on with this next crypto gym show. Looking good. Looking real positive. I'm loving it. Loving everything I'm seeing developing. Can't wait to catch you guys up on it. Also, I want to talk about, yes, vibes, baby, effects. I love you guys. Okay, so Rusted Trust, Levi. Oh, man, Levi. Okay, Skiller, my peeps, my people. Okay, so lots of awesome things going on. DeFi Kingdoms. I'm so pumped. 2 nights in a row now, George, I am George, has given DeFi Kingdoms a shout out on his show. Tens of thousands of people see that. I love it. The name recognition, people hearing it. How many times did you guys have to hear the name DeFi Kingdoms, DeFi Kingdoms, DeFi Kingdoms before you actually took the time to look into it and actually get into the project? It's all usually the case. You got to hear this stuff a lot, over and over and over and over and over again, right? So, okay, on the flip side, if the name of a project that's been previously at, if you watch my last video, make sure you watch that last video. I did. Super important video. Okay, kind of taking you guys right through my journey. Yes, vibes. I love it, man. I love it. It's so good to see you, vibes. I love you, man. And Noonie, yes. Wow. Noonie heard it one time and jumped in. And I know there's some that did. There's some even that did that early. If you did that really early, you lucky duck. Okay, you're getting in at Jewel at less than a penny. I think or a penny. A lot of people did. Okay. Most of us and most people, especially, people that are into crypto, whatever facet it is, if they're into DeFi, if you're into gaming, if you're into NFTs, if you're into all these different things, for most of us, right, we hear 50 gazillion, trillion, bazillion projects out there all the time. And if you've been in the space for any amount of time, okay, you've seen a million projects come and go. So for all the crypto veterans out there in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, they probably understand this more. We hear this, we hear projects, and we've seen projects come and go like crazy. Okay, even projects with awesome upside, awesome teams, awesome development going on, lots of buzz, lots of hype. We've seen projects get in the top 10. We've seen lots of projects get in the top 20, okay, and then fade away into nothingness, nowhere. So very few projects make it past very few projects go through a bull run and make it through the bear market and continue to grow through the bull run. Very few projects actually do that. We saw, what do we see? On the last bull run, there was so much potential with Neo. You guys remember Neo? And they were a huge Ethereum competitor. They were early, comparatively now. I mean, they were pretty early to the game, and there were actually projects developing on them. They were having big time worldwide conferences. People were traveling the world to go to these Neo conferences, and it was working, and it made sense. There wasn't anything too out of whack with Neo. I just always thought, surely that's going to survive, right? Surely Neo. So then, come the next bull run, I was buying Neo, and I didn't know what was going on. The team was still doing stuff, but it just faded away into never land. It just is hardly on the radar. You never hear anyone ever talking about Neo. Same with EOS. EOS, number one golly, brain. The most ICO, number one ICO or initial coin offering, raised $4 billion. All kinds of developers just crazy going with EOS. Had all the hype, all the YouTubers talking about it. And it's not like these projects just died off and went to nothing, nowhere. It's like Substratum was another one I was real big on years ago. NEM, that was like a top 5 even project, NEM. Okay, and these projects, it's not like they just gave up and closed the doors. Substratum did. They actually just closed the doors. Couldn't believe it. When that, not 100% closed the doors, but basically. And who knows? You never know. One of these projects could rebound. Okay, but so one of the things I want to talk about today, I want to respond to some good feedback. Pushback. Little pushback is good. Pushback is okay. Disagreeing is okay, right? So Rock had a good video. He was bringing out some questions, some thoughts, some other different ways of thinking about some things. Okay, so first of all, think about this for a second. I'm estimating, total hip shot estimation, that this game of DeFi Kingdoms has somewhere around 600 actual real life daily active users. Now, I know there's a lot more wallets, a lot more daily active wallets, because some people have a gazillion wallets. But most of us have 2-3 wallets, And so I think somewhere around 600-ish, maybe it's gone up to 700 daily active players in the game. Okay, and what we've seen, and at one point, that number was up over 50,000, okay, about a year ago. Okay, and we saw this mass exodus out of the game. We talked all about it. Okay, and so one of my missions is to set the record straight of all those people that thought all the false BS FUD about the team and nonsense, okay, to get them in a headlock and be like, the team's legit. Opposite of what everyone was saying. Frisky Fox looking out for the best interests of the team and the community, even over his own best interest. They got Dreamer. They got phenomenal team. You got Hubert, Pieface, Bolin, Risen. We got awesome guys all over the place. Mr. Dr. Zipper, baby. We got Magnus. We got Beetle Dude. All these goats of devs and awesome dudes. Okay. Absolute dream team of dream teams. And we've got good cohesion going. They're working. They're grinding. Okay. And their focus, which rightfully so, hasn't necessarily been over the last 6 or 8 months, hasn't necessarily been growth and marketing. Okay. Their focus has been getting their SHIT together, building an awesome foundation, a long-lasting, stable, firm foundation. That's been their focus. All their effort, boom, focused in, put in on that. Okay, they want to make sure they're good financially. They want to make sure their systems and processes in-house, like running a business, is good, is legit. Anyone coming in, start over. Always listen. 1.5x speed. I love it. Matty Pest, baby, in the house. I love you guys. Yes. Be easy. And yes, Drake on digital. Yeah, everyone stopped covering DeFi Kingdoms. All the FUD came out. Everyone got wrecked as wrecked can be. Okay. And we saw this ecosystem dwindle down to less than 1,000 daily active users. Certainly on Discord, that's the case. Okay. Which it just hit me. Hey, DFKers, now what have we done? Okay, HODL giving. Okay, so it just hit me like I need to have the DeFi Kingdoms Discord. If you're new to DeFi Kingdoms, you want to be on their Discord, by the way. I should have that like first thing in my, description below. Anyways, yes, that's right. We just talked about that. Baby. I love you guys. Okay. So we saw the ecosystem dwindle. We saw the team regroup. We saw a little bit, restructuring, formulating solid foundation, focusing on the game, the product, the longevity, the blockchains, all the development, all the stuff going on all over the place, partnerships, stability, all over the place, stability, partnerships. Okay. And we also saw what happened. Okay. There's a big reason why I think the team is leery, with hobnobbing too much with big influencers. Okay. And it makes sense because who burned them? How did all this FUD get spread against them? Was influencers. The high Indian, who they were paying. He was one of the first to start spreading the FUD. Now, there's like 1% truth, and then he just ran with the 1%, exaggerated everything, made it all worse than it really was, and just FUDded the project. Okay, and then it just was like dominoes. Not all. There was a few, like Crypto Tro that hung in there, and Christian Peter and Brown Gent hung in there, baby. Stuck with it. Even though, man, he was feeling the concerns, and it's pretty awesome that Brown Gent stuck with it. We gotta give all the people that have been in for a while. Okay, we gotta love on them. And I mean, Brown Gent is just big brains, genius. Yeah. Okay. Yes, vibes. So one thing I hear. Okay. One thing I hear a lot is, okay, we're in the bear market and we're down, which is normal. All projects are down. And then in the bull run, we'll just go back up. I hear that. Is that the case? How sure are we that it will just go back up? The adoption will just come. That's one thing I hear. 100% equating it to the bear market. Now, obviously, the bear market is a huge part of that. Okay, but when the FUD hit in May, the dump happened. So the initial dump happened. We had a good 90% exodus out of the ecosystem, like within a week or two. And we saw the price of Jewel dump down. Man, it was like almost within a week. We saw that thing go from close to $10 all the way down to $1.26 and then back up to $2 or just over $2, like $2.04. And then from there, it went down back below $1.70 and 50 cents. And then we had the bridge hack happen. Okay. Which was another just absolutely devastating event. The first event, which was actually the larger accounting of the exodus out of the ecosystem, came from just pure FUD, not from bear market. Came from just FUD against the project. Bear market was already happening at that point. Okay, so what happens in a bear market, we get weary, we get discouraged. If you're hanging in with a project, the longer you're in, the harder it gets. I mean, I'm like Mr. Faithful, generally speaking, when there's a project I believe in, like we'll take Cardano, for example. I was big on that one and was just, watching Charles Hoskinson and, following Cardano. That was just one of my, not just one, I was in big on a whole lot of others more. Okay. And it just, after a while, you just keep hearing more and all these grandiose visions and things. And then you just get weary after a while when stuff's not really going. Now, flip side on this project, we do have awesome, fast developing, but that's also been delayed because of all the crap that's happened. The bridge hack primarily has set us back so much. That bridge hack has set us back a good 6 months because they've just like fully focused on getting all their partnerships and stuff squared away. Clayton building and parity and this and that. I mean, they still weren't very built out much at all on Crystalvale when that happened. Okay. They had to do a lot to develop out Crystalvale, like Mach 10, 100% focus. Then once they got everything going on Crystalvale, which took a while, then it was a whole new blockchain, getting it all moved, parity. Okay. It just takes time. It's not easy. Okay. And so, Matty Pesk, I love it. Good evening. Yeah, start over if you're just coming in. John, what's up, my man? Yeah, okay. So now, we've been going for quite a while with the team focusing on their foundation first, which is good. Team's doing great. Team's the dream team of all dream teams. Okay, and then what's happened to the ecosystem, because after the bridge hack especially, that's when we saw just a massive traumatic thing happening to where, I mean, we lost so many users. And after that, I don't know. That's when I started the channel going, because I just saw the ecosystem dying. And with the vision of getting the current users excited about DeFi Kingdoms again, before they fade out, getting the people that have left the ecosystem to come back, to realize dream team, awesome stuff happening. They're developing. It's a great time to get in because everything is so crashed. Okay. And so, but what's happened is, because the number one focus hasn't been on marketing, because kind of the idea is to get a good product first, right? To get the product going. But still, still marketing has got to be there. The messaging, the awareness of what's going on, the awareness of the team grinding, the awareness of the project grinding. People need to know that. They can't forget about DeFi Kingdoms. And then we can't just grind, put our head in the sand, grinding, okay, for a year, 2 years, and then just expect to pop our head back up like last time, and for everyone to just come flying back in the ecosystem. That's not how it works. Does not work that way at all. Okay, so when we look at adventures in DeFi Kingdoms, market data, for example, okay, so we see things like gold. Okay, I remember when I had Christian Peter on the first time I had Christian Peter on the channel, okay, gold, since then, I remember gold had seemed to stabilize, and I thought possibly we found a bottom for gold, for example. And because gold was down 1,000,000,000% at that point. Okay, gold was I think down over 99% at that time. Okay. At that time, gold was already down 99%. Okay, and it's just been a rough road. Team's done great. Team hasn't done anything wrong. Okay. But now we look at gold, and gold is down a good 92% since then. Gold is actually down 92% more since then. So now we're down like 99.99% or something on gold. We look at things like milkweed. So with this, when we look at eggs, okay, we look at eggs, 71 cents, man. Goodness gracious. 72. Man, 71 cents for eggs. Yeah, that was crazy. So, yeah, gold is inflationary, but gold with the use case is also burned out of existence. Okay, so when the use case comes, so we're hanging on the question: how long could this ecosystem sustain without growth of new users? Okay, and we know that it will sustain even without any growth once Profession 10 level quest comes. Because when that happens, and they're reworking the questing, a complete reworking of questing. So then we'll be able to use pets. And my understanding is we'll also be able to use pets on profession 0 level. Our current quest will also be able to use pets, which is even more bullish for pets. So we've got a lot of eggs to hatch. We've got just to hatch all these eggs in existence, okay, just out of the blue, gray, and green eggs, okay, it's gonna eat up a huge chunk of that gold. Is gonna go bye-bye. All right, and tiers. The ecosystem will be real low. So then at that point, gold is gonna be massively deflationary. Just like tiers are not deflationary right now, but it will come soon that they are. Okay, because we're just to hatch the blue, gray, and green eggs. The tiers are going to go, who knows where that's going to go. So even without any growth of players, we'll sustain. And then we got Workhorse, baby. We got Pervy Sage working his magic. Yes, that's right. That's right. So, we've got combat coming. So the ecosystem, I think, would still survive for a good while, unless there's some big, huge problem, that happens, which is not looking like that's going on. Looks like the team is just locked and loaded, locked and focused, and they're about to execute these things. All kinds of good things going on. Okay. And so I think for a bit we could survive. Okay. But what happens is the ecosystem is essentially cannibalizing in a zero-sum game one another. Okay. And the longer people hang around for this, and unless you're just in it for the quick buck and you're just an awesome trader, and you're just selling, buying, and selling all at the right times and crushing it at the right times. And a lot of people are doing that. Okay. But eventually, if we don't get new adoption and new users, what do you think is going to happen? Then we're going to also have we didn't even talk about the yellow and golden eggs. A lot of eggs there to hatch. That's another over 40,000, 42,000 eggs on top of that. Okay, when that comes. So the demand will come. But then eventually, what would happen is we would see these items just come right back down. And savage, right? So without the value of gold holding up, it's regardless, it breaks down the whole ecosystem. Okay. And then also with the power tokens. So look at Jade. We got a 6.4 cent Jade. It's so interesting. And a crystal of 8 cents, almost 9 cents, 8.8 cents. Okay. And one thing with crystal that hasn't come yet, that has come with Jade, is all the locked jewel that's going to be converted into crystal has not yet even been launched yet. The reason why is because of the Avalanche subnet. They're having to rework something where they're like with the validators. Bolin explained all that to me. Okay, so we're likely to see some potential sell pressure coming on crystal when that happens, like potentially quite a bit. Okay. But also because of the big brains of the team of Hubert, like literally the team has done everything they can on ways that I just haven't been able to imagine what the team has done as far as brilliance in this in-game economy is just brilliant. This whole burning mechanism that they're putting out with Crystal and Jade, brilliant. So long term, assuming, all of my bullishness on this game has always been just 101, assuming growth in the ecosystem, not being stagnant. Okay. Yeah, baby. Well, yeah. See, another issue we have with the ecosystem is it's so hard to know. Okay. It's so hard to know what people are going to do because the ecosystem is so small. There's not enough people providing liquidity. So there's not much liquidity for these items. And because there's not much liquidity, all it takes is someone could panic. You know, I mean, people happen. It happens all the time. Or there's a problem, you know, with somebody in their life and they got to sell out. Okay. And someone sitting on even just 100,000 tiers, let alone, you know, there's wallets out there that probably have 1 million tiers or several 100,000 tiers, but just 100,000 tiers would just absolutely obliterate tiers to a fraction of a penny because we don't have enough liquidity provided. So tiers could dump down to nothing. That's the risk. Okay. So now when the profession 10 level quests actually come, and it's no longer speculation at that point, it's real world, you know, things happening, actual demand. You know, with dark summoning, there's a lot fewer stones being used. I've really noticed that. And even by myself, not like I'm now creating like a subset wallet of heroes, and I'm still trying to develop that out. I want to talk that out. Dark summoning strategies. It's such an important, I think, part of the game, and I don't want to completely miss it because of the rarity. So I've been summoning here lately all my heroes and stuff, no tiers, no stones, you know, and for the purpose of creating a pool of heroes to eventually dark summon with, get for rarity. Okay. And so, okay, but that's a different topic. Maybe we'll get back to that. So that's just the risk. On the flip side, because of the low liquidity, as people are thinking ahead and gearing up for all this egg hatching, like I don't have near enough tiers to hatch all my green eggs alone, let alone my gold and yellow eggs. Like not even close. I might be able to hatch like 30, 40 eggs, maybe, if that, with the amount of tiers I currently am holding, which is all in liquidity. Okay, pretty much. And I have been hatching most of my blue and gray eggs, or I'll put them up for liquidity sometimes because the liquidity is so low. I have been on a liquidity rampage. If I wasn't just me, I'm just one guy sitting in his home. Okay. If I wasn't putting up all this liquidity, we would have almost no liquidity for stones. We would have, because like gold on Serendale, I account for over like 80% of all the gold liquidity, just me. And it's not like it's a mind-blowing amount. It's not a ton of gold. Okay. So what happens is the ecosystem starts breaking down. And we have, fortunately, some saviors in this ecosystem. We have guys like the Mythic Squad, Mosh, Justice Beaver, who have hatched countless eggs. So they buy the eggs sometimes, which helps the eggs stay up. But we've seen eggs go from $500 or even like $1,000 at first. But I distinctly remember when they were $500, and then for a while they were $200, $300, $400, you know, for a little bit there, and then they were up over $100 for a while. Okay, we've seen it go all the way down to 71, 72, 73 cents. Unbelievable to me. Okay, that is a breakdown of the ecosystem. Yeah, that's right. Higher price impact with the amount of heroes questing. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I sell my tiers when I need to. If I'm doing something like I want to go, whatever, buy some heroes or Like I've noticed, I bought legendary sages and dragoons. Legendary. I never imagined the day would come when I could buy legendary sages and dragoons for, I mean, what was it? Like $150 or something in US dollars. Like one of the dragoons I bought the other day, and Jade was down at below 7 cents like it is now, and it was less than 2,000 Jade for legendary dragoon. And then I bought some other legendary dragoons and sages for less than 2,000 crystal. And it was like, golly, I remember when I got my rare sage, and it was worth such a big deal. It was worth, at the time, the floor, which there wasn't even hardly any you could buy that was available. It was like $20,000. But you couldn't probably sell it for that, but maybe $10,000 or $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. Same with Dread Knights. Okay. So that is an ecosystem breaking down. So how long could we last? If the team keeps grinding, doing their thing, how long would we survive before all these items start just breaking down and everything becomes fractions of pennies? Because it eventually would at some point. That's what we have to check the numbers. On ADFK, there's a ton of liquidity. As long as they build a market, we'll come around. Okay, so Coolio, this is the mindset of a dev that I want to address right here. Okay, so this idea, if nobody knows about what's going on in the game, if nobody knows about Hubert's brilliance, if nobody knows about, so I hear a lot of comments, okay, things like, we don't need, who cares what Crypto George says, and we don't even want to be associated with BitBoy, and who cares what these guys are saying, Hustle, and all these YouTubers, okay? And so what happens is the mainstream crypto ecosystem, even DGen, the mainstream DeFi ecosystem, or the mainstream gaming ecosystem doesn't hear about DeFi Kingdoms. They don't hear about it. So how do people know about Hubert's wisdom? How do people know, okay, to jump in? How do people find out about it? Another thing, Coolio, I love you, man. I love you, Coolio. Another thing with devs, anytime they hear the word marketing and sales, their brain goes directly into spending dollars to advertise, somewhere. Yeah, high price impact will just dump or raise the price. That's right. George told you about DFK. That's right. Now, what happened with George talking about DFK? What happened there? He fudded the project. George fudded the project and said, probably not going to survive. Okay. And I remember I was on a mission the day I was watching it when he said that, and I blew up his chat. I super chatted him, and he ignored it and ignored it and ignored it. Okay. It was blowing him up. Now, guess what? Guess what? Anybody's watched George, I Am George, 2 nights in a row. He's given DeFi Kingdoms a shout out, baby. He's given DeFi Kingdoms a shout out. Okay. Why do you think that is? 2 nights in a row, baby. Eventually, George responded to my super chat. We talk about it. We talk about DeFi Kingdoms. He tells me to email him. So I email him. And we go back and forth, 8 different emails back and forth. I was giving him a full update on the project. I was telling him about Hubert. I was telling him about what's going on, baby, in the project. That's right. Coolio. Yes, I know. So two days in a row. Blew him up. And I thought I was going to get George bullish. It was kind of sounding like maybe George would start getting bullish again on DeFi Kingdoms. And that's like our ticket to getting back on the radar for people to remember and see, and then realize the development that's going on, realize what we actually have, okay, in this ecosystem. And I mean, that for me, that was like a grueling process, trying to get George in a headlock. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of focus to get him. Okay, and I wrote him novels in the emails. And then he still didn't jump back all in. You know why? You know why he said that? Is because anyone who's been in crypto for any amount of time knows that most projects don't rebound in the second bull run. Most projects die, even the projects that are grinding. And so George sees it, and he's the only thing he could say back to me. He couldn't say that the team was shady. He couldn't say that the team wasn't grinding. He couldn't say the development wasn't there. He couldn't say all the awesome things going on. The only thing he could say is, well, I mean, you guys are like on the charts, you almost look like a dead project. Like, good luck is literally what he said on stream. He said that on his stream. Good luck to ever rebound, because most projects don't. It takes a charismatic, make it happen, stay out in front, keep the awareness going. It's like people have to hear it, generally speaking, over and over and over and over again. They got to keep hearing it. Okay, and eventually what can happen is, you know, traction starts hitting, and then people are like, oh my gosh, I need to get back into DeFi Kingdoms. After they heard it, for most people, after they've heard it a zillion times. Okay, and so then recently, we have an opportunity with this TV show, Next Crypto Gym. Okay, and I've been connecting with Jet, big time, courting like this relationship with him, okay? Because the more I realized, it's like, wow, this guy actually is legit. This TV show is legit. So much to catch you guys up on there. So, okay, so I find out he's getting George as one of the 3 judges. And I was like, wow, he actually pulled that off. George is like so skeptical of projects. Okay, it's going to be hard to get him on the show with my mindset. So I know he was trying to get BitBoy, he's trying to get George, he's trying to get some different big influencers. Okay, and I kind of would have guessed George would have been the hardest one to get, because he just will not, you know, he never hypes stuff up. He won't hype up some project much at all. Super skeptical approach. Well, he gets George, which even further solidified, like, whoa, we got to get DeFi Kingdoms on this. And he was blown away, actually. I mean, I have volumes of books of text back and forth between me and Jet. It would take out, and like even for a fast reader to read, hours to read all the messages we sent each other. Okay. So, and the time comes, and then Dreamer and the team comes through in the clutch and makes this awesome video, apparently for the auditioning to be on this show, TV show. And first it kind of goes through Jet and some of the producers of the show. Okay, there's like a filtering process. Jet told me there's been dozens of projects that have applied, and then it kind of gets filtered through those guys, and then only 4 projects get selected to be on the show. And those final 4 projects, it's all up to the judges. Okay. And I come to find out, guess what? Because some of us loving on George. Okay. So vibes, I definitely want to address this mindset. Okay. This mindset that you're putting out here. All right. Because we got to talk through this as our tiny little community is barely hanging on. I can tell you, we've been fighting to hang in there. Okay. And it's been a fight. So George has reviewed all the projects that kind of made it through that first filtering process. Okay. And then basically, from my understanding, George is just like, nope. He's the hardest judge of them all to get, yes, I like this project. I want this to be one of the 4. George has been the hardest judge of the 3 judges to actually kind of put an amen on a project and give a thumbs up. Yes, I want this one on the show. Most of them, he's like, nope, don't want that one. Don't want that project. Don't want that project. It came to DeFi Kingdoms. George gave a raving review, baby. Raving review. I love it. Okay. Now, George, I suppose that still could have happened, but because he had people shouting him out, DeFi Kingdoms, and bringing him that awareness, okay, that helps. So then the other judges, apparently from my understanding, there's good favor happening with DeFi Kingdoms. Nothing's official yet. We don't know if it's going to be selected as one of the 4 projects that actually make it on the TV show, in which just over this past week, he's signed a huge international contract as well. Okay, so this will be not only in the United States TV, but also worldwide. So exposure for the project, exposure for the project. So this mindset of, okay, so that's just like huge news. There's more that he told me that I can't share yet, but I'll be able to share everything here pretty soon. So it's just simply this. It's an opportunity for more eyes and ears, for more ears to hear about DeFi Kingdoms. And in this case with the show, okay, which we're going to clack out of the park, for people to actually get to know the team, get to see what's actually going on in the project, get to understand the fundamentals, okay, and get to understand all the different ins and outs. Wisdom Gaming, they're going to hear about all of it. They're going to hear about combat, okay, on TV, very possibly over 3 million eyes. We'll see that. It's just exposure for the project, okay? Because without that, without exposure from mainstream crypto ecosystem, mainstream and especially mainstream DeFi ecosystem and mainstream gaming ecosystem, let me tell you, it's not just going to happen on its own. It's not just going to go back up. George's YouTube channel is called Cryptos Are Us. So this mindset, okay, I want to address. This mindset, okay, that where there's not, so I've like had an urgency. There's been an urgency in my soul ever since the FUD hit and ever since the bridge hack happened, okay, and all this stuff happened. There's been an urgency in my DNA to help the awareness, help spread the awareness of what's going on in DeFi Kingdoms, because the hugest risk is the lack of adoption with any crypto. We want adoption with anything. We want the world to adopt Bitcoin and make it like legal tender. That would be amazing, but we know they won't. We have more shenanigans with the governments happening. I probably should address that. I don't know if I even want to go there. More shenanigans happening right now. Okay. Without adoption, crypto projects don't survive. Simple as that. We got to have adoption. We can't just keep going on as we are. If we just kept going on as we were, the team can only do so much as far as the brilliance in this ecosystem, which it's so brilliant. But anybody on the outside looking in wouldn't recognize, like when I say things to somebody who doesn't know what's happened with this project, doesn't know anything about the project, and I say that we have a Hubert who's big brains, he's absolutely genius when it comes to the in-game economy of the use case of these tokens. And they're like, okay, you got a brilliant guy, Hubert. Okay. So the brilliance of the in-game tokens, and they look at gold and they see that it's down 99.999999% or whatever it is. That doesn't add up to them. So the awareness, nice. Yes, that's right, Maddie Pesk. The awareness for the project, okay, it won't survive with 600-700 users. It'll only survive for so long. And so what I see a lot in the ecosystem, just all of a sudden, it's like started hitting me. Okay, because I've had this extreme urgency for the last 8 months in my soul. Okay, to project. Thinking that, like, at least to an degree, people would be on the same page. Like, oh my gosh, like, we got to get people to understand how awesome this team is, how legit this team is, how legit this project is, the partnerships they got going on, the tokenomics, brilliant fix. They save the day, the selflessness of the team, the core values of the team, and get people to see the fundamentals of the project and see how awesome this is for the purpose of getting people back in the game and new people into the game. Okay. And for the most part, most people, it will take a bull run to get most of the new people into the game. It will take a bull run for the most part. Okay. But there has to be plowing of the ground and seeds planted in the meantime. In the winter, you have to plow the fields and plant the seeds. People have to hear over and over and over again about what's going on in DeFi Kingdoms. Most people are going to have to hear it many, many times, over and over and over. They're going to have to keep hearing about the project and all the stuff going on before they just jump back in. That's just real reality. And then when they do jump back in, this ecosystem is so extensive. There's so much to learn. It takes months. Look at a guy like About Life Podcast. I remember when I first had him on the channel, he was pretty green. He was like pretty much brand new to the game. And so I was just teaching him all about the ins and outs of the game and the tools and this and that. Okay. And it was like a 3-hour stream or something. It was or 2-hour stream. I don't know. Really long stream. And I remember it caught, he kind of caught some fire, and then next thing I know, he's doing all these videos on it. And so I remember about a month later, he had started to learn a lot, but I realized, like, dang, he's been in this game for a month doing a lot, even doing videos on it. And he still has a little ways to go. Okay. And now he's gotten to where he's almost a pro. Like, he knows all the ins and outs of everything in the game. And this is like 4 months later or something, but he still has more to learn. Like, you can even hear it sometimes. He's like still learning, still growing. 4 months later, doing videos every day on the game, summoning every day, doing all this and that. Okay. So imagine your average Joe in this game who has a 9-to-5, wife, kids, family, whatever. Okay. Who's busy. It's going to take a long time for them to really grasp what the heck's going on in this game. So people do, yes, they need ideally to get in now so they can start learning the ins and outs of the game. And they can start learning about the ecosystem and what's going on. Okay. And then, it's just going to keep going crazy. The team's going to just keep dropping some fat updates, big fatty updates coming like soon. They're like locked and loaded. Big, awesome stuff. Profession 10 level quests, green eggs, PvP, PvE, crafting. I mean, it's just like traveling lands, all this and that, and tournaments. And it's just going to be like, and then we have third-party developers developing. It's so in depth, and there's just going to need to be a lot of love. Okay. So it's like a grueling process to actually real world, actually get adoption. They're not just going to come running back in during the bull run. That's not how it works. Here's how it works. This is how it works. If you've been in crypto for any amount of time, the next bull run, most of the projects, even if they haven't died, even if the team is still grinding, even if the team's still doing stuff, the projects die. That's reality. That's reality. So what I've noticed is, like, surprisingly, and it's realized, like, whoa, I need to speak to this. Surprisingly, there's like a nonchalant attitude about marketing, about exposure to the project. Like, who cares what George says? Who cares what all these guys say? Like the top influencers of crypto, where tens of thousands of people a day watch their channels, which is like mainstream crypto, mainstream human beings, real life human beings, just like you and me, sitting at their home, doing whatever, are watching. That's where they get their info on crypto. That's like all they know. That's the majority. They watch George, they watch BitBoy, they watch Crypto Banter Manran, they watch Altcoin Daily. They watch Coin Bureau. They watch Paul Barron. There's a few others that, like, that right there encompasses the overwhelming percentage of all people that are in crypto. That's like all they know. That's just all they know. So how are they going to find out about DeFi Kingdoms if we don't, like, doing some Twitter ad isn't going to get people to jump in. Doing some YouTube ad campaign, that's not what's going to do it. Yeah, baby. Kevin Porter, I love you guys. Wowee, baby. Yeah, start over. You guys are just coming in. Be sure to start over. 2x is probably nuts. I can only imagine. Okay. That's right. And so it's like an urgency. Okay, there's just been, ever since I heard all this, like there's even an urgency for like guys like Climb Crypto to get those guys. And I don't know, he's just hard. I think he's just really busy. Climb Crypto is a busy dude, but we got to get him back on board. I want to get Faulty Poker back in the game. Like, I don't think a lot of these guys that have left haven't fully given up. I don't think. Let alone a George who was already in the project, and to win him back now. We've won George back. That wasn't easy. It didn't just happen. Okay. Now, but not all the way. We haven't won him back all the way. There's still work to do. But if it works out where we're on the show, the team's there, he's meeting Dreamer, he's meeting Frisky Fox or whoever, I'm hoping to be there too. Okay, to help, even just to help Jet. We had talked about that before. Just helping him on with the scenes and the sets or whatever. And I'll just make the most of that opportunity, make the connections, make whatever comes my way. Okay. Okay, so the success of this game will hinge on exposure to the crypto ecosystem. Unequivocally. It's not, I didn't say that I like those influencers. I didn't say I like them. So, yeah, a ton of value on the influencers. That's right. I put a ton of value on the influencers because that's how people know about the project. Okay, love you too, Vibes. Love you. That's right. So it's not that we don't care about George more, that he's not the one savior. Sure. Oh, yeah. Most cryptos die because they have no utility. That's not true. Zabu. Did Neo have utility? Did EOS have utility? Okay. Did Substratum have utility and a phenomenal team? Absolute phenomenal team. Did, okay, OX, the coin ZRX, OX, phenomenal team. Zcash, absolutely awesome team. Zcash had a legit team. ZRX, OX, legit team, legit product, legit use case. In fact, they were Kyber network and all kinds. And some of them hopefully survive. I'm not out. Dash, a lot of those projects, Dash, okay. Zcoin, Zcash had an absolutely, they were one of my favorite teams, was Zcash. And as far as I know, they're still going. It's like ZRX, OX, okay, they were one of the early DeFi people, decentralized finance people, okay? Those projects basically have died. Not that they are all the way dead necessarily. Okay, so it happens from awareness. Here's what won't work is just assume that it's going to pump because the team's awesome. I can tell you, if you think that, you're new to crypto. If you've been in crypto for 2 cycles, you're going to know that it won't just survive on its own. It won't just hype back up because most all those projects have died. Even projects that had all the exposure in the world and had the product, the vision, the team, and the use case. Okay, so one thing that's for sure in my mind is if DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem doesn't grow, it won't last forever. So at some point, heroes have gone from, the floor heroes have gone from like $300, $400, $500. And you know what? Now they're like $3 maybe. Okay. That's only gonna, at some point, just keep all the value of the ecosystem will just keep dwindling down over time if there's no growth in this ecosystem. The game has to have adoption. The game has to have users. And okay, if DFK is fun, then it will get around. It won't just happen on its own. I'm telling you, it won't. And there's a lot of competition, a lot of money coming hard and fast and strong. There's a lot of, okay, and it could be left in the dust if there's not an urgency to spread the gospel, baby, of DeFi Kingdoms. Yeah, I sure hope so. I wonder, that's one of my main things I'm going to be talking with Pervy Sage, baby. So, okay, so I'm going to ETH Denver March 1st through the 5th or 6th-ish. I forget which. Okay, going to ETH Denver, baby, with Bolin and Risen. And everybody's welcome. If anybody wants to go, okay, you know what? I think I still need to sign up. Or maybe I did sign up. I think I did sign up, actually. It's free to go. The tickets are free. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, we still need, volume. It's not a sham project, but we need more eyes on it. That's right. I mean, that's just the whole point. Embers catching to start a fire. That's right. And that's what happened the first time around. And then the embers caught fire all the way to the point of getting Crypto Manran and Crypto George in talking about it to tens or even hundreds of thousands of people a day. And that's when the project blew up. That's why it blew up. Just so you guys know, that's why it blew up. It actually was more hype back then because there wasn't nearly as much of a product as that we have today. No, the VC game, this isn't a VC rug pull like most projects are, which makes it even better. So it takes, just like I shared in the last video, for any business to be successful, you have to have your finances in order. You have to have your operations in order. You have to have your sales and marketing in order for any business. You can't survive without all 3 of those pillars working. Got to have it all. Got to have all 3 of those. So what a VC would say is, when they're looking into a project, they look into the fundamentals of the project. They bet on the founders because the VCs themselves know you can make the messaging happen. You get a magical, charismatic guy. Like in my mind, I can make that. I got that part covered. You know, that's what I would be thinking as a VC. So I would be, and even like in business or even like with this YouTube channel or anything, I look for people with awesome strengths. Okay. Like this is what I would do. Just me, even look for guys like Coolio with awesome strengths of being awesome developers and creating an awesome product. And I'll get the marketing side squared away. You know, that's what a VC, of course, the VCs that will spread the word about a project who want to invest into a project. Yes, for them, it's all about the founders. But that's obviously understanding that without a huge messaging and marketing push, and again, when I say marketing, that does not mean spending money. Okay, without that, you can make the best project in the world, the best crypto. I actually believe that some of the best teams and best projects have died because they just got swept off. I mean, they just got overrun by other projects. Projects like Polygon, that is very good on this front. Awareness, partnerships. And okay, so these things, the reason why DeFi Kingdoms exploded in the first place, let me just make it clear, is because several smaller YouTubers like Drake on Digital and those guys were talking about it. That was part of it. But when it really exploded, George was talking about it. Crypto Man Ran was talking about it. Hustle was talking about it. And hundreds of thousands of people saw that. That's how I got in. That's how Coolio got in. That's how he got in. So if they're not talking about it anymore, how are people going to find out about it? Okay. Right. Yeah. So that's why it's been such a huge focus. Yeah. But what makes me nervous about Jade, okay, is that Jade has fallen so hard and Bitcoin is still at 22,000. Imagine if Bitcoin went back down to 16,000 or, 18,000. Where would Jade be then? Like, goodness gracious. Like, I just don't get it. And so the only explanation is our ecosystem is just in a tough spot right now without more users. Now, I think what's going to be the saving grace is as more development comes, as combat comes, and all these different things, that'll be a saving grace for now. But it is absolutely vital. Let me just make it clear. Vital to make the most of every opportunity that comes our way as far as spreading the word, spreading awareness of what's going on in the project, making the most of these opportunities. It is vital to the success of this game and this ecosystem. And that could come, I'm sure Dreamer, the more I think about it, I'm sure Dreamer's got Sun Bear, working on those partnerships. They've got probably some things up their sleeves that they've been working on partnership wise. Yeah, the edge. Okay, so it's still worth questing your foragers over there for the Swift Thistle for now. But if Swift Thistle keeps diving down, yeah, but yeah, it's better to. But as far as like hatching eggs, summoning, you want to go. That's why I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think when we first saw it split and it was about a penny apart, I thought we would see something closer to parity begin to happen, because I just assume, right? Isn't everybody summoning and hatching eggs and doing duels and do all that on Serendale 2.0, right? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So I did the math. It's way more profitable to quest your foragers on Serendale, just for the Swift Thistle alone. Well, it more than makes up the difference of what you'll lack by a pretty, almost like 2x amount. It's like almost, but that was a few weeks ago. So it's probably not 2x anymore. But at one point, and I know Eric Tippett also gave me this shout out. And yeah, I think he said he was over 2x getting more from his foragers on Serendale. Yeah, but Swift Thistle has come down. Yeah, the gas fees are annoying. You can just, the Swift Thistle, like about 1/3 of your Swift Thistle alone will easily more than cover your gas. And then the rest you can sell or whatever. Yeah, stuck with DFK chain. I love it, Noonie. Okay. Yeah, doing the shorts. It still doesn't get picked up the way you think it will. That's right, Brown Gent. Yeah. And so, I mean, as a YouTuber, to really grow your channel, you got to have those connections. It's the same thing. So, I mean, that's always what I'm trying to do. That's why I was trying to connect with BitBoy. That's why I'm trying to connect with George. That's why I was trying to connect with anyone and everyone. Hustle, Crypto Man Ran. These are guys I reach out to all the time still. Guys like Paul Barron, and even like smaller channels like Crypto Lifer and all these different guys, Bartertown. Okay, connecting with, and then you just connect and you add value to them and their life and excitement. Okay, and that's how you can grow. That's why I want to go to LA and help be a little servant for Jet on this project, so I can meet BitBoy again for the second time. So I can meet. So, and then I heard BitBoy's going to be in ETH Denver. Boom. Because I was still debating. Because after ETH Denver, I'm flying straight from Denver to Minneapolis, baby, to meet Pervy Sage, to meet Workhorse. All right, making these connections, connecting with people in an awesome, honest, genuine way, for real. Tell them about DeFi Kingdoms is the primary goal. And okay, to get DeFi Kingdoms back on the map. All right. And then as a YouTuber, it's funny how people don't. I'll definitely be, I'm always going to promote the good other people in the ecosystem. So pro crypto, team crypto. Okay, Brown Gent hasn't stopped selling the Jade even now. Although I did buy 10K Jade earlier this week to pick up a mythic spellbow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, BitBoy. Yeah, he pumped some. I watch him every day. Do you guys watch him? So now it's true. He totally pumped some scam tokens and realized they were scams And he was getting paid by the tokens to do it, which he disclosed. He always did disclose that. And he definitely was in some shaky projects that he was promoting. And he would say they were paid. Well, then he realized how much he was let down, really, by a lot of the projects that really turned out being shady. And so he stopped doing that altogether and owned it. Not that he was trying to do pump and dumps. I don't think he ever did that. Okay, like some have in the past. I didn't ever see that. He wasn't trying to pump and dump on your head. I mean, so that's just a pure, you can believe that. That's fine. But I don't believe he was doing that. What he was doing was projects would approach him and pay him, and he would look into the project. He had a team that would look into the project, and the project was good at selling themselves BS, and then he'd find out that actually they're not doing what they said they were doing. It was the team was a pump and dump, but not BitBoy. So I don't think so it got so bad to where he just now, for the last 14 months at least, hasn't accepted money. And it's so nauseating, so much so, like BitBoy, I had to have a completely different strategy for, because I already knew all this. So I can't go hype up DeFi Kingdoms to him, because he's had a million people do the same thing. Okay. And to him, it's just another shill, and his ears will shut off, and he'll just tell you right up front, I don't even want to hear it. And I can't go on my channel and talk about DeFi Kingdoms, because then everyone's just going to accuse me of shilling another project. So he stopped doing that altogether. Okay. And it sucks, actually. Okay. So, but he has opened up other avenues. Okay. A lot of the YouTubers, smaller channels that I found out about. Okay. I remember I knew about Crypto Lifer, but I completely forgotten Crypto Lifer even ever existed until he was on Around the Blockchain. And that's how and same with Debate Crypto, that I met also, by the way, in Miami. And we were going to get on each other's channels, but just life got crazy and busy. Okay. And so I was trying to get on Around the Blockchain with BitBoy. And he gave me that open door, by the way. He also said he's going to start another show or channel about gaming crypto. And he said maybe that's a better one for me to be on. I haven't pursued that any further, but I will. I hope to meet him again in LA, connect with him there. Right? So that's how we make contacts. You just let BitBoy's going to do what BitBoy's going to do. And I let him do what he's going to do. He is who he is. And he's going to do whatever he's going to do. Now, if he crosses a line to where he's shady, hurting people intentionally, but I don't think he's doing that. I've heard a lot of accusations that he's doing that. But as someone who's watched BitBoy for 2 or 3 or 4 years, however long it's been I haven't. Now, I've definitely bought some tokens that he recommended that sucked and got back out of them because they sucked. But he stopped doing all that long ago. And I don't think it's fair what a lot of the people accuse him of doing. Okay. Yes. What's up, RK3? I love it. Okay. Yeah. Team partnered with a marketing firm in Korea. Yeah, hopefully. I wonder how that's going to shake out. Yes. I love you, Mosh. Kimmy, what's up? don't know about the High Indian. High Indian was getting paid by the team. Okay. He was getting paid by the team. And then he was like one of the main ones that fudded the project. He's the one that's like started the FUD against the team. And I've hit him up multiple times to come on my channel and debate me. All these people that still get on, you see them pop their heads up, trolls, different people. Like, but if anyone's actually serious about hating on the project, thinking it's a scam, thinking whatever, you know, last YouTube video had someone comment that, and it's like, okay, buddy, let's see you put your money where your mouth is. Come on the channel, let's have a debate, and I'll be respectful. If anybody, High Indian, anybody that wants to come on the channel and debate me about the fundamentals of this project or the integrity of the team of DeFi Kingdoms, let's go. Let's go. And I'll be respectful. I'll do that all day long. And so the High Indian fudded the project, left the project, never came back, never apologized, never owned any of it, never deeply looked into all the stuff with Frisky Fox, hasn't come back and owned anything. It's like killing me. Oh, okay. There's so much more I could talk about. It's an hour and 21 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Luna, that's a whole different discussion. Luna was not a pump and dump at all. Now, we knew of the risk of an algorithmic stablecoin, yes. Yeah, Mr. Zipper, baby. I wish I could have Mr. Zipper in my back pocket. Yeah, professional shiller, zero responsibility. Good point, Brown Gent. Yeah, man. And so all these guys, like Climb Crypto, man, I'd love to get him excited about the project again, you know? I think he's still team DeFi Kingdoms, but okay. Now, so one of the biggest points of this video is for me to emphasize with a large, high amount of emphasis that without growth of this ecosystem, that currently the way this ecosystem is a zero-sum game that's cannibalizing one another. Okay. And that doesn't last without growth. It won't last. So we got to have growth. And yes, of course, we got to have the other side, which is development, awesome team, all the awesome stuff about the project. But we got to have growth. Otherwise, I mean, what happens if gold goes down another 90%? Like I remember, again, when Christian Peter was on the channel, gold was down like 99.9%, I think, at that point. Now it's down another like 92% from there. What if it goes down another 92%? And these items, right? If Profession 10 level quest comes and pets and all that, and then we get more tiers, we're going to get more tiers from that. So that eventually, what's going to happen with the value of tiers? In the long run, with no new user adoption, got to have the adoption. So then how does that happen? Does that just happen because of hype? Will that happen again because of hype? Not without exposure. It won't happen on its own. We can't just do our thing and just expect it to grow without new, actual, real people in the real world coming into the game and learning how to play and actually adopting the game. It won't just happen. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Is Tesla pumping? Ah, what's up? Ogre in the house. Yes, I know. Climb slowly coming back. Yeah, I have noticed a little bit. I've seen a couple little mentions in there giving DFK a little shout out, baby. Want to reach out to him. I just had zero success reaching out to Climb because I just think he's super busy. He's like a really hardworking dude, man. He works, he's like grinding. Okay. Yeah, that's true. This kind of stuff happens. That's why it's good to stay out of leverage trading. Oh, nice. 100% on Tesla. I almost bought some. But I just, haven't been buying much of anything. Nice. But I was definitely like, man, didn't Tesla get down even below $100 recently, or even down in the 60s? Or is that, I might be confused. Okay. So Ogre, I love you, man. It's good to see you. Ogre and I got to connect. Okay. So with all this being said, I just want to emphasize this, because if we have sort of like a nonchalant attitude about like, yeah, it'd be fine if we were on this, it'd be fine if we were on this TV show, but we'd be fine without it. It's like this nonchalant attitude. And it's probably true. We'd be fine if we didn't make it on. That's not going to get you anywhere, having that approach at all. And it won't get this project anywhere, ever. And it's not how this project exploded in the first place. Okay. Yeah, buying the blood, baby. Yeah, Elon sold a lot of shares. That's right. Okay. 110 was the low point. Okay. See, in my mind, major, baby. In my mind, yeah, it creates a large gene pool to create heroes. Yeah, with advanced. That's right, Ogre. I agree. Yeah, and because of the pit, the dark summoning. Yeah. But here's the thing, it's not a large number of heroes. If we had 1 million users in the game, even if we just had 10,000 users in the game with the demand for heroes, 10,000 people wanting heroes, that's only less than 50 heroes per person. And then if 100,000 people were actually in the game, which in my mind is a no-brainer, right? Like that's still low numbers of the potential. In my mind, that's low numbers, 100,000 people in the game. But that would mean only 5 heroes, currently at the numbers of heroes we have, 5 heroes per person, per user, with 100,000 people in the game. Can you just imagine? So anytime over the past several months, I've been talking about the game. Okay, it's always in my mind with the upside of I'm going to work my magic and bring in a zillion users into the game. Like that's always like back in my mind. And the reason why I started the channel in the first place was an urgency to help to prevent this ecosystem from completely dying. It's cannibalizing one another. Yeah. Yeah. Good idea, Matty Pesk. Some incentives for more dark summoning. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's okay. That's okay. I know you didn't mean, and you didn't call it a pump and dump. I was just clarifying that. Yeah. Do your own research. But I did my research big time on Luna. And I was just so like, before it was $1. What's so weird is with Luna, okay, I just don't get Do Kwon. Like I don't know what's going on with him. Because I really don't think, I certainly don't think he was behind that. I think he was just attacked, and there were internal people on the Luna team or that knew what was going on internally. But it is weird how he's responded since. I'll say that. Yeah, he did. He sold, and he told everybody that he was gonna sell. He had to sell some for a reason. Yes, Mosh. How about we pump Shiba so I can pull out, move it over to Jewel? Well, hey, which do you think has more upside? A coin that's in the top 10 market cap with billions of dollars of market cap, or Jewel? Jewel currently sitting at, $20 million market cap. I would sell out of that now and go into Jewel if that's what you want. Okay. Yeah, thanks, RK3. That's right. So it's like a mindset shift that we got to deal with. Give away some Gen Zeros, have a referral program for the community to bring new players in the game. Each referral will get you a raffle ticket or something like that. No. So, I mean, you could. I mean, there's so many different things we can do. But this will be, you talk about a ticket. Like, will George be our ticket? Well, I mean, if we get on this TV show and we win the TV show, which I think will knock it straight out of the park if we make it in, which I think will make it on the TV show, that has potential. I mean, everybody in the crypto industry is going to see that show. Everybody in crypto is going to watch that show all over the world. I mean, so everybody in crypto all over the world is going to see that show, which is going to be discussing and going over the fundamentals and the dream team and wisdom gaming, Pervy Sage, baby, in the in-game economy and Hubert brilliance. Everybody in the world is going to see all of that in the game. Klein was hatching some eggs, baby. Came in late. Yeah. Awesome. Good deal, Ogre. I love it. I love it. Yeah, come in late. It's always better to watch fast because ain't nobody got time to. It's hard to watch live. But, if a YouTuber like Rock, he likes to really interact with the chat, that's cool too. That's fine. Yeah, so you don't need a lot of money to hype the project at all. What we need to do is get tight with George. Get back in his good graces. Get him talking about it again. Get BitBoy somehow talking about it. Get Crypto Man Ran and Hustle talking about it. Somehow get Coin Bureau. Maybe he could do a review on the product. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we got Coin Bureau to do a review on the project? Can you imagine? like he does, on a lot of the projects. He'll like do a review. He's going to review this project and get his mind blown. That's how we get, you can call it saving grace or whatever. Otherwise, it's not just going to happen on its own. Yes. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. So doing stuff like, how many of you have ever gone and joined a new random crypto project from a raffle, or from an ad on Twitter or YouTube? Maybe when I was brand new into crypto, I did that once or twice, maybe from an ad, maybe when I was brand new in crypto, but there's so much of that. There's so many cryptos out there begging for everyone's attention. There's tons of new games coming, begging for everyone's attention. Okay, by far, the most effective way to get people into this game is going to be connecting with mainstream YouTubers. Connecting with, getting a guy like a Coin Bureau, that would be the ultimate. The ultimate. If Coin Bureau, like he does, Cosmos breakdown, what's going on over here with all these different coins that he's done a review on. I'm going to work on that someday. And he's tight now with Benjamin Cohen. Guess who? Guess what? We connected with people on Benjamin Cohen's team at Miami. So he wasn't there that I remember. Okay, but he had people on his team who was there. Huge focus. Connect with Benjamin Cohen. It's another one. He's more of a trader. Okay. He's more of a trader, Bitcoin guy, not a DeFi guy or anything like that, but still. And then Digital Asset News, Rob, right? All these guys I watch every single day, 2x speed. Connecting with those guys. Paul Barron, who we totally connected with, by the way. Dreamer connect. He was weird with me, but then he totally connected with Dreamer. So it was like clack out of the park. I just think Dreamer's too damn busy. So you got to foster that to actually get on his channel, which he was open to doing. Okay, but has Dreamer followed up with that and pursued it? Who knows? Because he's so busy. I don't know if he puts the time. Yeah, so anyone, I'm going to ETH Denver. Yes, Ogre's going to be there. Yes, Ogre, baby. Nice. Rich is playing George. Hey, Rich, you got to talk about DeFi Kingdoms. Yes, he's 4th of 20 and you're 3rd. DFK. Yeah, make sure you talk about him. Talk about George. Talk about DFK, baby. Those little seeds. Okay? You gotta till up the ground. His heart was hardened to DeFi Kingdoms. I can tell you, his heart, boom, got hardened against DeFi Kingdoms. So we tilled the ground. We broke up the hard dirt. We broke it up. Then we plant seeds, baby. We plant seeds. And in due time, it grows. And it's growing right now. 2 nights in a row. George, giving DeFi Kingdoms a minor little shout out. Baby. And just wait. Then he'll have an opportunity on the TV show. That's how this works. You plant the little seeds in fantasy basketball about DeFi Kingdoms. Like in a tactful, tasteful way. Not like where it's overkill. But because he doesn't like a shill either. But in a tasteful way, you can, a shill, that'll be, but if in a tasteful way, like, hey man, I'm deeply in the DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing team. You start out with like, I love your show, watch it all the time. Like you could right there on the chat of fantasy, I really appreciate you shouting out DeFi Kingdoms these past 2 nights on your show, George. FYI, I'm really integrated in the ecosystem. The team's amazing. It's my favorite project. I'm loving, what the team's doing there and believe in it. Just a little seed like that would go a long ways, man. Baby. Yeah, I loved watching Ogre and Climb. Climb got busy. Yeah, and Climb got kind of skeptical of the team. Okay. So we just got to win them back, baby. Harmony had its fans poorly. The problem of Harmony drag us to. So, okay, guys. So when we talk about like gaining adoption and users, okay, and Clayton doing that, I'm sure that happens, but it takes time. It doesn't just happen on its own. So in order for the gaming market, for it really to catch overseas in Singapore, South Korea, Japan, okay, it's the same things. You got to till the ground, you got to plant the seeds, and then keep watering. You got to water the seeds. You got to keep, so, and so as more and more people hear it multiple different times, hear about DeFi Kingdoms, and as the exposure of DeFi Kingdoms grows out there in that area with YouTubers and different whoever, out there, some marketing firm or something out there, okay, as that happens, it's not just going to be like, oh, we're in Clayton, now people are going to join. That's not how marketing works. That's not how it works. Exposure. So people, you got to hear it over and over again. And then it starts sinking in, settling in. Most of the time, unless you're Noonie, baby. Noonie jumped right in. Okay. Yeah, baby. Hey, Dr. Olgan, it's good to see you. Yeah, I think we need Cosmos or Matic, so more users. So again, but that won't bring the users. That won't actually, going to a new chain won't bring any users at all. Here's what will bring the users is the hype, is YouTubers, is however else people find out about a project. Just going to a chain won't do anything. Yeah. Going to a chain, going to a new blockchain won't do a thing. Now, let's say we go to Phantom, for example, and then we connect with, what's his name? Hello, Andre Cronje. And we get Andre Cronje, looking into this game. And then we talk about it and YouTubers start talking about it. That's what brings the adoption. Not just going to a chain. Not going to do anything. Zero. It'll have zero new users from just going to a new chain. So now the partnerships that can bring, okay, that's then what can bring exposure. So going to a new chain like Clayton, connecting with the founders of Clayton, and then the founders of Clayton have contacts with, and then the word spreads, exposure. Yeah, I don't see the Korean community in DFK at all, right? Because it won't just happen. So there has been some exposure, for sure. There has definitely, without question, been some exposure, but it doesn't just happen. People aren't just going to come into the game. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I mean, it just takes time and work, grinding, planting the seeds, watering the seeds, grinding, planting the seeds, watering the seeds, grinding, planting the seeds, watering the seeds, and then a breakthrough can happen. And tons of expo, and then it could blow up over there in South Korea. But that, man, that takes time. That takes time, long time, not easy. It takes urgency. It takes conviction. It takes urgency. Here's what's not urgent. It takes the opposite of the mindset of, we'll be fine. Who cares what George has to say? It'll just blow up. They're just going to FOMO back in. Nobody is going to join the project with that mindset and attitude. Nobody. It'll do nothing just to have a new project going to Clayton, right? We got to have exposure, marketing, messaging. We got to get YouTubers in Korea, which there are some now. I know of at least one or two YouTubers in South Korea or something. Okay, talking about DeFi Kingdoms. They've got it going. It's good. Okay, so that needs to be watered and loved on. We got to make sure those guys are the right guys. They're hyped up and make connections with other influencers. By far, the best, most effective way to grow this project. It's that. And as far as I know, like I didn't expect. What did we expect? We go to Clayton and a whole bunch of people just start playing DeFi Kingdoms from South Korea? Those things don't just happen. So I think it's a phenomenal partnership with Clayton. Way better than what I thought it would be. I think they've done great. I think everything's great. Now the gas isn't awful, horrible, terrible, but it's not great either. I mean, the gas is hurt. It hurts. PvP without marketing, sales, partnerships will be for us. That's right, Mosh. We need new users to pour in, period. They won't just come. Yes, that's another biggie. Big biggie. So that's why it's like we can't have this nonchalant attitude about even getting it. Like, it's not easy to get listed on a centralized exchange. Like, that's a big deal. Massive exposure to the game. And honestly, people are saying, it'll just pump and dump the coin. Like, I don't know if there's I've never seen another ecosystem out there as savage as this ecosystem when it comes to pumping and dumping things. Like, we have a savage 600 users in this game who dump the crap out of everything. I don't think anybody out there will be as savage as currently what we have in this ecosystem. Like, there's going to be more holders on sexes than there is, like, even currently in this game. Man, I'll tell you. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. The point is getting, Skiller, nailing it, baby. Getting exposure. That's how we found Axie. Why is Axie at a $1.5 billion market cap still, when it's like not a fun game to play? Well, it's just because of their exposure, and they're on centralized exchanges, and they're accessible. Oh, Kingdom Informed, baby. Needs to be co-marketed. Yeah, by the chains themselves too. And I think it is, right? I'm pretty sure Clayton has put some skin in the game for DeFi Kingdoms. And I think they've done a great job. Now, I don't know what the hell's going on in South Korea and stuff, but I think they've been a great partner. As far as everything I've heard, they've been great. Yeah, look at what kind of games the Asia community plays. It's not DFK, it's flashy hack slash. Well, yeah, but when we get our game out, I think it's going to be awesome. What Pervy Sage is developing is big brains. I think he's doing an absolutely phenomenal job. Can't wait to meet him. I wonder what kind of marketing they do already, because that might be a big marketing just right there alone from Wisdom Gaming. So I mean, that's like one of the top things to talk about with Workhorse, baby. Yeah. I mentioned the next 2 expansions, thinking of long-term. Yeah, we just need a fun game sooner than later. Yep. Like Rock said, even a bare bones version, something, right? Like maybe, yeah. And I'm not worried about that. That's coming. But even if a fun game comes, it's still not just going to grow on its own. I mean, unless it's like, something that's just mind-blowing, which I wouldn't put it past Workhorse, baby. But I wouldn't anticipate, unless it's just like something absolutely out of this world, that it's still going to take a lot of hard work and effort and grinding and planting seeds and grinding. And it's like, I mean, this weight of like urgency has just been with me this whole time. Yeah. So I think, Dr. Olgan, that the Asian market plays all kinds of stuff. I mean, they're just gamers through and through. And so they play things like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff as well. It's not all flashy. Okay. Yes. Okay. When Jewel hits major exchange, yes, that's a biggie. That's another big one. So here's our biggest ways of growing. First, connect with big crypto influencers. Second, get on a centralized exchange. No brainer, like no brainers. 2 biggest things. And then, gosh, it just left me. Those are by far the 2 biggest ways to grow. Okay. Yeah, we all need to learn Korean. I love it. Yes. So I'm flying there, Ogre. I'm flying. So I'm going to Denver, and everybody's welcome. Hit me up if you guys want to go. We'll get with Bolin. So flying to Denver March 1st. Flying to Minneapolis, Wisdom Gaming, March 6th, that morning, I believe. In Minneapolis, we're going to have Raph there with Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms, baby. And a lot of the DeFi Kingdoms team's going to be there. Yes. Oh, no, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got some other good ones in DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem, baby. Yeah. So I'm flying to Denver and then flying to Minneapolis. And then I haven't bought the return flight because I don't know when to come back home. Raph is only staying like 1 night. I was like, you're only staying 1 night? CryptoCon. Yes. Yes. Why wouldn't Avalanche want to gush over their first subnet? They do. No, the Avalanche has been just a massive blessing for DeFi Kingdoms. Huge. And it goes both ways. So the reason why we were mentioned tonight on George is because of Avalanche. And Avalanche is like, dude, they've got connections. I mean, they're just working it. They're kicking ass. Avalanche, I mean, a real deal partner with Amazon. real deal, actual partnership, not a bullshit partnership, a real deal partnership with Spotify, where Spotify is going to be promoting their NFTs, okay, and giving people incentive to buy NFTs, Spotify, and give you benefits with Spotify if you buy their NFT. And guess where their NFTs are on? Avalanche, baby. Same with Amazon. Same thing, like massive. And then tonight, George was talking about this huge partnership with a huge gaming company that just created their own subnet, okay, and creating a bunch of games. And that's then how we get mentioned by George. And but in the past, okay, every time in the past George has ever mentioned Avalanche subnets, he's never then said, and DeFi Kingdoms is their first subnet. Well, he did tonight, baby. And that's because of the hard, grueling, grinding work that we put in. And it's not easy, and it takes work, and it's grinding. Crypto Kong, you got to jump on the channel, baby. Crypto Kong putting out some content. Matty Pesk. Yeah, go play some League of Legends. Yeah, Matty Pesk, are you going, baby? Okay. Totally right. Yeah, the chain is, yeah, they give you the place they promote you to. That's right. Yep. And so believe me, but it's like complicated to get people into this game and actually start playing. That doesn't happen overnight, man. It's a lot of grinding. First, people got to hear it 50 times. And then when they actually want to jump in, they're going to need a bunch of love and help. A lot of how-to love. Yeah, Nate, I really think they are. Yeah, Los Angeles experience. BitBoy, I may be into. What's that? Rich, what's going on there? So BitBoy's going to be in Denver, and I'm going to be all over him like white on rice, baby, pinning him down. Butterfly on a killing board, baby. And I already did. But you got to be tactful with him because you can't just be a shill for DeFi Kingdoms, because he can't just go on and promote projects. And so it's got to have a totally different approach. Then that's right. Then DeFi Kingdom, and then he's going to be in LA. And hopefully I'll be connecting with him in LA. And that's all in March. All of those trips, March. So LA is the end of March. So I don't know. I still got to pin that down. I'm not 100% going for sure, but it would be good if I was there. Okay. Yeah, that's right. DFK chain, cheap gas. People can build on this chain, build their own games on this chain, baby. Yeah. That's right. Dreamer is crushing it with the sex listings, baby. Okay. For the 30, yeah, that's 100% why Axie is still relevant. Totally agree. They do have a legit team, solid team though. Axie really does. But yes, couldn't agree more. DFK is better than Axie. Axie blew up when they just had awesome timing too. But when Combat came out, that's when Axie really blew up. Yes, but also it's also when they got on the DEX and they got on the Binance Smart Chain, and they were on different blockchains. Content creators placed on videos, they made 10K in a week. Yeah, because I used to make, there was a time when I was making $6 or $7 grand a day in this game. And then it all crashed and went to crap. And the ecosystem has just dwindled and devoured one another. And so we got a lot of work to do, guys. We're not out of the weeds. This project won't just go up in the next bull run like that. I can't tell you. There needs to be an urgency. I can't emphasize that enough. All right, Ogre. Yeah, exposure, the sex listing. Exactly, Mosh. The average person wouldn't invest a project unless it's in a sex. That's right. That's right. That's absolutely, unless you're a degen guy, you know, and most people aren't. Okay. Yeah. Teams working on game being translated to Korean. I know they're doing a lot with that. I know they're doing a lot there. I'm not even worried about it. Okay. Yeah. Doctor, if the game is good, has a competitive meta, Korean players will be all over it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Luna was great. The problem wasn't Do Kwon. Yeah. Nation states of the world couldn't allow an algorithmic. I mean, the nation state, like for the first time in the history of banking, where the banks actually threatened. We actually had full-blown decentralized banking. Actually had it. And so I think the banks are behind, and the government, just, it's all corrupt and it's all connected. And even in on this Binance BUSD, absolute BS attack. Yeah. They were in with, I mean, it's just so much corruption. It's just so obviously corrupt. Gary Gensler, and it's just like, seriously? He doesn't even try. It's just like total BS when he talks. It's unbelievable. Gary Gensler is unbelievable. He doesn't even bring out a good argument. He just completely ignores all the white elephants in the room and is purely just speaking to sheeple, knowing that anyone that knows anything about anything he knows that all those people know that he's full of it, but he still doesn't even care. He'll just BS to the core. He's like not addressing the white elephants at all. It's like so blatant corruption. I can't even believe it. Oh, yeah, for marketing, YouTube is a destination, but we need to get people who are dropping 2 to 5 minutes. Well, okay, but Brown Gent does. Ogre. Brown Gent, he just said this earlier. Brown Gent's dropping short videos. That's not going to help. The marketing comes with connections with George and those guys. It really does. That's when the thing explodes. Videos on TikTok. Hey, About Life podcast. He's a pro. He'll get 30,000 views on some of his little short videos. About Life podcast. But that's not going to bring a bunch of new users into the game. I mean, that will help plant seeds. Yes, that will help plant seeds. We got to, and these videos will help the grind, but getting on George's good side, BitBoy's good side, Benjamin Cowan's good side, and all those guys, we could get Altcoin Daily and Altcoin Buzz. Oh yeah. I mean, and they're doing it. Mythic Squad, those guys are working a lot on that kind of thing. Okay, everyone needs to be in service to new users when they come. That's right. We already help so much, but imagine if it's 10K new users, we all need to be there. That's right, Fishy Foods. Okay, but I didn't hear talking about all DFK. If you're right, they should make this kind of contacts and showing DFK who really is unique in the crypto community. Yeah, I know. We got to spread the word. We got to get with guys like, again, George. And because the door is wide open now with George to get right back into his good graces and for him to really start talking about the project and actually what's going on. I mean, we're close. We are so close, guys, with George. So close. And that alone will bring on 10,000 users. I bet. 5,000, 10,000 users. That alone will 5 to 10 to 20x our user base. That one thing. Let alone then getting on several others and all the other things going. Just the culmination of it all. It's hard work, grind, plant the seeds, baby. And I mean, I've even seen it with Jet. Okay. Jet, who's next crypto gem. Okay. It takes a lot of planting and watering. And so first of all, Jet just saw the magic that we worked in Miami and just saw the presence we had there. And people thought we were getting paid like or something. Okay. And so he just, it was infectious if you were there. And it brought a lot of attention to the project. But again, those are just seeds planted. You got to keep grinding. And so then I kept grinding on the tokenomics, on the team, on what's going on this and that. CoinGecko, not working. Just on and on and on. It's a grind. And then by the end of it, he's like most excited. I mean, I think most excited about DFK than all the projects that have applied for the next crypto gem. But that was hard, grind. It's a grind. Yeah. Ogre, I love you, man. Matty Pesk. Hey. Yes, that's right. Dr. J, baby, in the house. Yeah, sex is huge, man. And just think, I mean, also what that's going to do is open up the DeFi Kingdoms chain too, the DFK chain, so that we can then buy Jewel and send it right on in. I mean, it'll just be a dream come true for so many reasons. How much it takes to translate. Yeah, I mean, they've got connections out there in Korea. They're already doing a lot of the translations and all that. Yeah, at the peak of the bull market, DeFi Kingdoms was doing more transactions per second than Ethereum. Even now it is. No, DeFi Kingdoms, my understanding, is still doing more transactions than Ethereum. And Avalanche subnet architecture, yes, that's right. Architecture enables DFK to do this without impacting the DeFi chain. I love it. Yeah. Yes, definitely down to stream again weekly, Ogre. Yeah, man, we got to start that up again now that my head's out of my rear end. And I almost hit you up last week. Really, actually, the last 2 weeks. Okay. What? Yeah. So another thing that somebody said was if someone got in now, they might get too bored because the actual game's not out. And I'm like, no, guys, listen. First of all, we need to be screaming DeFi Kingdoms from the rooftops because first of all, they're not, most of them won't get in now. They got to hear it 50 times, then they'll get in. Okay. And probably not till the bull run, but we're planting the seeds. So we're in the good graces. We're in their minds, front and center, in mind, in ears. Okay. And you plant the seeds, but for those people that are getting in now is ideal to get in now. So they can learn the game, learn what's going on, and then right in time to then actually, when the game gets launched, when PvP gets launched, okay, which I'm assuming is April, but it could be the end of March still. I'm assuming that might be April or May, but it could be the end of March. They might start with just the basic class heroes and go from there. Who knows? And it's going to take every bit of amount of that time for them to learn how to even know what the hell's going on in the ecosystem at all. Like they got to learn how to buy a hero and do all this stuff. That's not going to be easy. And so I highly doubt there'd be anybody right now that would enter into this ecosystem and get bored where they would just leave the game within the next 2 months. Like, and you get in now because it's early. You know, you're an early adopter. That's like the whole point. We're early adopters in a crypto gem that nobody knows about. Okay. Oh, yeah. Not only Korean. Okay. We need a champion program, another user that didn't have heroes make. Yeah. Right. So I still am surprised that Axie still got a lot of people playing in the Philippines, the Latinos, and they earn a living doing it. Yeah. The more new people hear the name Jewel before listings, the better. That's right. The better. We can't. So this mindset of okay, I get it. We do want to, we had to take pause and restructure ourselves and get our shit together. Okay. But that still never meant completely abandon evangelizing DeFi Kingdoms, because I mean, we're still in it, and new people that get in, guys like About Life Podcast, look at the fire he's got just for summoning. He's a summoning nut. He's so into it. I love it. I mean, Rock's sister got in because she just likes the genetics, and it's just so brilliant. The ecosystem is so vast. A delay for PvP isn't going to cause someone to leave the game. And even if it did, I mean, most people right now, we shout it from the rooftops right now. It takes time for that adoption to come because people got to hear it. I had to hear it several times before I ever jumped in. I mean, I heard it multiple times from George, from Drake on Digital, from Hustle and Crypto Man Ran. And then finally is I couldn't not jump in. And then I was just in the liquidity pools for a little bit. I wasn't interested in the game that much. But then, it just kind of happened. Hey, I checked it out, the heroes, and with my kids, actually. It just, all that took me a matter of several months, okay, before I really, got into the game. It normally takes time. Okay. Yeah, exposure. The exposure is what's needed. Devs aren't going to allow leverage, which is great. So yeah, we need the exposure. This is a game who is gamified speculation. Grady, that's our topic for Thursday. I love it. Ogre, it's official. We're going Thursday, baby. $100 contest results should be marketed for its ROI. I mean, I never do a single contest that anyone ever does, ever, pretty much. I think most people, don't we get sick of contests? I mean, they all do it all the damn time. And that's certainly, I'm going to avoid a project almost doing that from a marketing perspective. It's yeah, there's so much more to talk about, but I am running out of gas. I'm tired. but maybe I'll get going again. I've talked to CryptoCon. I mean, there's like 50 people I want to get on the channel. Gamified speculation, baby. I love it. Ogre on Thursday. Gamified speculation. Once we get sponsorship available through the game, we need lots of giveaways. I mean, see, that's cool. That can help. I just don't know how really effective that will be to get real adoption. To get the real adoption, you got to get the charismatic hype leaders on board, talking about it on YouTube, on the crypto ecosystem. And so it's like people don't get it. It's not just going to grow. I mean, so Matty Pesk and Loki's, baby. Loki's crypto. So you guys actually think, so I'm trying to understand your mindset here. So you think if we did $100 challenge, that new people who aren't in DeFi Kingdoms will come into the game because of $100 challenge? I mean, I'm not against that. But do you actually think that new people who aren't in the game will actually get in the game because of that? Yeah, I know it, man. Replacing bots with people. Yeah. We can pay real people to grind for us and change their lives. Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought we were going to do. And I had a buddy in Colombia, South America lined up. Went down to Colombia, got to know him and his girlfriend and his friends, and was going to maybe do a business. But do you actually think that that will actually bring new people into the game? We are doing that. You're on the stream. Yes. So it certainly helps and it's good. Did that actually bring new people actually into the game to adopt the game? I love you guys. Rich, baby, and Matty Pesk. $100 challenge marketed to, impoverished people will bring a whole wave of Axie players. Okay, I get that. So, but impoverished people getting into the game, do you mean to like play for us, to quest our heroes and play the game for us, like Axie Infinity? Like in Axie Infinity, you can create a guild and hire people from other countries to play for you, to play the game. And that's how they make money, and they make you money by playing the game. I get that. That's easy. Because like it's a job. It's a job, baby. They can make money. But I'm talking about actually getting, and surely that's also still going to help the ecosystem. Like right now, a poor person from the Philippines could still get in and buy a couple heroes, and play and quest. So, I mean, yeah, that helps. That's a good angle. Like $100 contest. But to actually help, yeah. Slaving away on fishing boats, fishing boats risking their lives for the same money. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if we can like hire them. microtransactions and traffic. Okay, but I'm talking about how do we get people, and that is a good thought, Ogre. Sure. Getting my buddy from Colombia who's poor, okay? Colombia, South America, third world down there. That was part of my game plan too. And I think he's still in the game. He likes a video every once in a while. Okay, and he can maybe buy a couple heroes here and there, like a month, maybe. Yeah. But so that, I think that is a good plan. Yeah, we can get those Philippine users, people from Africa as well, for sure. Okay, I actually had it as a game plan to help. I've got, I was helping run an orphanage in Africa about a year ago. And I actually had it in mind to implement crypto there like Axie was doing with DeFi Kingdoms as well. And that will help, but that won't really necessarily help the market cap, the adoption. They're just going to be selling. They don't have money. They can't be buying much. So it's a great way to show the versatility of the ecosystem and the potential gains. No, it's not a marketing blockbuster, but it'll be fun, right? Yeah. I'm so, like 4 years ago, I got so weary of all the contests and all this and that. Most seasoned crypto people avoid it when they see that kind of stuff. But I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. I think it'll be tough using that as a game plan to bring new people in the ecosystem. Yeah. Yeah. Are you talking about Clayton? Yeah. It's just going to take some time to get the Korean ecosystem integrated into this game. But then if you connect with the right influencer, that's when it explodes. Yeah. It feels like getting the mainstream YouTubers with the large subscribership is the most effective and faster way to get the word out by 10 million miles. Nothing else touches it with a 10-foot pole. So that's how we do it. So like Vibes earlier, which I love Vibes. I love it. And I love that he's not afraid to disagree. Okay. But yeah, that's like our ticket to getting, it's to get mainstream guys, to talk about DeFi Kingdoms and to get on a centralized exchange. That's why I just couldn't understand. It like threw me for a loop. It knocked the wind out of me. It caused me to like, whoa, take a break. When I heard that the ecosystem, those two things, which is exposure on George's channel, on BitBoy's channel, whoever's channel, and listed on a sex, was downplayed. It was like so weird to me. Yeah, I would love to get those leaderboards back, man. I would love it. Yeah, if you can't invest, right? My buddy in Colombia, the swings and prices we don't care about can change his life. Yeah, but he still doesn't have enough money to change his life. He could buy, I gave him a few heroes back when heroes were worth more. And now, like, for him to make, it's like they make like $3 a day, I think, is good. Like, that's a pretty good job. You can make $3 a day. Yeah. I know. I think that's a great plan, Ogre. That's a good one. Yeah, getting those people from the Philippines, from Latin America, from Africa in on crypto for sure is a good game plan. Yeah, the quest is not a real quest, guys. No decision making, nothing advanced. Yeah. But that's coming, baby. Hey, and if you want that, you got to get on Fight Club in the description below. Hardcore decision making process, like big brains, like playing chess. It's an awesome game. Fight Club in the description below. Bogside Chats, baby. Maddie Pesk, who's in the house. They're doing all kinds of Fight Club tutorials too. You can learn that game fairly quickly. You know, it'll take you a little bit of time, but you just do their beginner videos that are short and sweet. You can at least get dangerous with Fight Club in an hour or two. But to really get good at it will take some more time. Yeah. That's why my mission is to show love on George for the last 2 days. That's right. Yes, Rich. That's how we get adoption. Yeah, baby. Maddie Pest. In the description below is Bogside Chat's channel. I'm pretty sure I still got it in there. And Fight Club, Discord, and all that. We've already got it. We've already got a game. I love it, guys. Fight Club. To the moon. And right now you can win raffle tickets by playing Fight Club. So you can right now, you know, the duels is not in season right now. So there's like a little contest, right, Maddie Pesk? You can win some extra raffle tickets by playing Fight Club and getting those raffle tickets, baby. And it's really fun. It's just awesome. Shout out to Konix, who grinded his life away and almost like killed himself. But stuck with it. And now hopefully he's making a little bit. I still don't think he's making that much. Okay. He doesn't have enough to change his life. If Jewel gets on his sex and wisdom, yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. I love it. There it is. If we hit a new all-time high to $25, yeah. Okay, but that's like my point, Ogre, on this. And this is what threw me, like knocked the wind out of me. We won't just go back up to all-time highs. Won't happen on its own. Absolutely won't just happen. Like people are just kind of, it's almost like in the mindsets of so many, it's almost just like a given. The bull run's going to come and we're going to pump. Nope. Like, be forewarned, DFK community. Absolutely, unequivocally, will not just happen on its own. It takes hard work, grind, and marketing and messaging. In the same way it does with actually building out this ecosystem like the devs are doing. In the same way, same grind. Yeah. Well, he does have a bunch of locked tokens that I helped George. I helped him, you know, get off of Harmony. Yeah. Yep. All these things. All right, guys. That's right. But our channels aren't going to grow on their own either. It won't, that just won't just happen. We got to be connecting with others outside the ecosystem to grow the channels. Oh. Yeah, the SEC FUD. I can't imagine the SEC reaching into DeFi. I think that's FUD. There was rumors that SEC was like wanting to go after Lido Finance and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure that's false, total false, because they can't. No, George wasn't a whale. George didn't get in early, like Ogre got in day one. Okay, George came in later, but he had a lot of money and the liquidity and had a lot of locked jewel on Harmony that he's been like ignoring. So I helped him get off Harmony, get everything into Crystalvale, and totally gave him a 100% breakdown of the history of what went down when he fudded the project, called him out like graciously, tactfully. And his response was like, whoa, I didn't realize I was part of the reason Frisky Fox went to the hospital. He said that to me. And then gave him the full history, the breakdown of the team, all the things going on, the tokenomics change, all the stuff going on, Wisdom Gaming, the partnerships, all of it. He got it all. Yeah, that's true. Tornado Cash was shut down because that's a little bit different though. That's not the same. That's a lot different than the SEC, saying everything's a security. That's a totally different thing there. But you're right. It's not immune. I don't trust the government. Might as well just go outright communist. Like for what the stuff they're pulling now, there's no telling. I mean, so it is a risk. I feel George is coasting little perks when he says things about crypto and DFK and info. Sounds amazing. No other project gets that lure. Yeah. But I think the time will come soon when George is like back in on DeFi Kingdoms. Like dollar cost average Wednesday. He does it every Wednesday. He'll do DeFi Kingdoms every once in a while. Jewel, like he'll actually be in DeFi Kingdoms. And he'll be talking about it more. Yeah, George got in December 2021. Yep. Okay, guys. Yeah, he was in the Gardeners. He's not a gamer. That's right. Well, he used to be a gamer, but not anymore. Yeah. I really think we need to market to the gaming crowd more. Yeah. So getting with guys like Hustle. Hustle has been one of my biggest guys. I've been wanting, because Hustle is maybe the biggest just outright gaming guy, crypto gaming guy, and Alex Becker. Yeah, baby. That's another one. I haven't seen him around lately. What's Alex Becker doing these days? Haven't seen him. We could get him on board. Oh. And like Elio, whatever his name is. But he's got Super Farm, which isn't Super Farm. It's just called Super now or something. Looking for a second home outside the USA for KYC reasons. Yeah, man. That would probably be Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Or a place like a Colombia. I mean, I would love to live out there, but I don't know. Yeah. Who play for fun while the rest dump and pump on a sex. We need people who don't care about the token price. So people pump and dump like savage currently in this ecosystem more than anything else I've ever seen. The savagery and the lack, honestly, of long-term conviction in this ecosystem is really what it is. I mean, let's just call it what it is. A lot of the existing like 600 or 700 people in this ecosystem really don't put their money where their mouth is. There's not a ton of conviction. They dump the crap out of the whole thing. But that's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that there'd be less pumping and dumping on centralized exchanges than what we have seen in this ecosystem. Oh man, Rich, I love you guys. Yeah. I mean, not 20,000 in Colombia. The property, it kind of depends where you go. Property's kind of, I mean, 20,000 gets you close, but it's more like 40 or 50 to get something decent. But it depends on which country you go to. Yeah, don't pay tax. Okay, guys. Crypto Grady out. Love you guys. We'll be back soon. So much more to talk about, strategies and stuff. Love you guys.